During a dinner, Mark Twain was talking to a lady beside him, and out of courtesy he said, "You are so beautiful." The lady was arrogant and told him, "I'm sorry, but I can't say the same for you." Mark Twain then told her, "That's all right, you could be like me, just tell a lie." The lady looked down in embarrassment. Moral of the story: you can throw a stone, but the one who will trip over is often yourself. According to the wise Dhammapada, one should conquer anger with non-anger, badness with goodness, meanness with generosity, and dishonesty with truth. In Buddhist teachings, there are several principles and practices that can help cultivate a mindset of equanimity and inner peace, which can make it seem as if nothing bothers you. Here are some key concepts and practices. Mindfulness. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among green hills, there lived a young boy named Ananda. Ananda was curious and full of energy, always eager to explore the world around him. One day, while wandering through the forest, Ananda stumbled upon a serene clearing where a group of monks were meditating under the shade of a towering Bodhi tree. Mesmerized by their peaceful demeanor, Ananda approached them, eager to learn their ways. The head monk, a gentleman named Bhante, welcomed Ananda with a warm smile and invited him to join their meditation. As Ananda sat among the monks, he noticed how they closed their eyes and focused on their breath, letting go of worries and distractions. Intrigued, Ananda asked Bhante, "How do you find such peace amidst the chaos of the world?" Bhante replied, "It is through mindfulness, young one. By being fully present in each moment, we free ourselves from the burdens of the past and worries of the future." Ananda was puzzled. "But how can I be mindful when there are so many things to do and think about?" he wondered aloud. Bhante chuckled softly and gestured to the Bodhi tree. "Do you see this tree, Ananda? It stands tall and rooted, yet its leaves sway gently in the breeze. Like the tree, we can remain grounded in the present moment while allowing our thoughts and emotions to flow like leaves in the wind." Ananda nodded, beginning to understand. "So mindfulness is like being a tree?" he asked. Bhante smiled and patted Ananda's shoulder. "Yes, my young friend. Just as a tree remains steady amidst the changing seasons, we too can find inner peace by anchoring ourselves in the here and now." From that day on, Ananda practiced mindfulness with diligence, learning to observe his thoughts and feelings without judgment. With each passing day, he grew more attuned to the beauty of the present moment, finding joy and contentment in life's simple pleasures. And so, guided by the teachings of Bhante and the wisdom of the Bodhi tree, Ananda embarked on a journey of self-discovery, discovering that true happiness lies not in the pursuit of worldly desires, but in the peace that comes from within. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware of your thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and surroundings without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, you can observe your emotions without becoming overly attached to them or allowing them to control you. Please feel free to type wisdom in the comment section if this message resonates with your spirit. Your participation extends the reach of this message, touching more lives and spreading the message of faith and hope. Stay with us until the end of this video. Open your heart and be ready to receive the uplifting power of this video. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications to stay updated with more content that nourishes the soul and uplifts the spirit. Non-attachment. In the same village where Ananda lived, there was a humble farmer named Sujata. Sujata was known throughout the village for his unwavering commitment to his work and his simple way of life. One day, as Sujata tended to his fields, a wealthy merchant passed by, driving a carriage adorned with jewels and fine fabrics. Intrigued by the farmer's contented demeanor, the merchant stopped to speak with him. "Good farmer," the merchant said, "how is it that you seem so happy with so little, while I, with all my wealth, still feel unsatisfied?" Sujata smiled warmly and replied, "It is because I have learned the art of non-attachment, sir. I tend to my fields and care for my family without clinging to the fruits of my labor." The merchant was perplexed. "But if you do not seek wealth or possessions, what motivates you to work?" he asked. Sujata gestured to the lush fields around them. "I work not for the sake of wealth, but out of love for the land and gratitude for the abundance it provides. By letting go of attachment to outcomes, I find joy in the act of giving and serving others." The merchant pondered Sujata's words for a moment, realizing that his own pursuit of wealth had left him feeling empty and discontented. Inspired by the farmer's wisdom, he resolved to cultivate a spirit of non-attachment in his own life. From that day forward, Sujata and the merchant became good friends, sharing stories and insights as they journeyed together along the path of non-attachment. And though their lives took different paths, both men found true happiness in the simple joys of living with open hearts and minds, free from the chains of attachment. Buddha taught that suffering arises from attachment to desires and aversions. By practicing non-attachment, you can learn to let go of clinging to outcomes and relinquish attachment to things that are beyond your control. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather observing them with detachment. Understanding impermanence. In a bustling kingdom nestled between majestic mountains, there lived a wise old merchant named Raj. Raj was known far and wide for his keen business acumen and his wealth of knowledge about the world. One day, as Raj was journeying through the kingdom, he came across a group of villagers who were in despair. Their crops had withered and their homes had been damaged by a sudden storm. The villagers wailed and lamented their misfortune, unable to see beyond their immediate suffering. Raj approached the villagers and listened to their grievances with compassion. Then he spoke gently. "My dear friends, I understand your pain. But remember, everything in this world is impermanent. Just as the storm came and went, so too shall your hardships pass." The villagers looked at Raj with confusion. "But how can we find solace in impermanence when our crops are ruined and our homes are destroyed?" they asked. Raj smiled knowingly and gestured toward the mountains. "Do you see those peaks towering above us?" he asked. "They have withered countless storms and yet remain steadfast and unyielding. Just as the mountains endure the changing seasons, so too can we find strength in the face of adversity." With Raj's guidance, the villagers began to see their situation in a new light. Instead of clinging to their losses, they embraced the wisdom of impermanence, recognizing that all things, both joyous and sorrowful, are fleeting. As the days passed, the villagers rebuilt their homes and replanted their fields, knowing that setbacks were merely temporary. And with each passing season, they grew more resilient, their spirits buoyed by the knowledge that change is the only constant in life. And so, guided by Raj's teachings, the villagers learned to embrace impermanence not as a source of despair, but as a reminder to cherish each moment and find strength in the ever-changing tapestry of existence. The Buddha taught that all things are impermanent and subject to change. By recognizing the transient nature of emotions and experiences, you can develop a more balanced perspective and avoid becoming overly attached to temporary states of mind. Compassion and loving kindness. In a peaceful village nestled in a lush valley, there lived a humble farmer named Maya. Maya was known throughout the village for her kind heart and gentle spirit. She tended to her crops with care and always had a warm smile for her neighbors. One summer's day, a weary traveler stumbled into the village square. The traveler named Kavi was weary from his journey and in desperate need of rest. Maya was the first to notice him and rushed to his side with a jug of cool water and a comforting embrace. "Welcome, friend," Maya said, her eyes filled with compassion. "Please, rest here a while and let us tend to your needs." Grateful for Maya's kindness, Kavi accepted her offer and settled beneath the shade of a nearby tree. As he rested, Maya tended to his wounds and offered him food and shelter. Over the following days, Maya continued to care for Kavi, showering him with acts of kindness and compassion. She listened to his stories and shared in his joys and sorrows, offering him solace in times of need. Moved by Maya's unwavering kindness, Kavi began to feel a newfound sense of hope and gratitude. Inspired by her example, he resolved to pay her kindness forward and spread love and compassion wherever he went. Together, Maya and Kavi became beacons of loving kindness in the village, touching the hearts of all who crossed their paths. Their acts of compassion served as a reminder that true happiness lies not in wealth or status, but in the simple joy of caring for others. And so, guided by Maya's gentle spirit and Kavi's newfound resolve, the villagers came together to create a community built on compassion and loving kindness, where every act of kindness, no matter how small, had the power to brighten someone's day and change the world for the better. Cultivating compassion and loving kindness towards yourself and others can help soften the impact of challenging emotions. By extending kindness and understanding to yourself, you can develop greater resilience in the face of difficulties. Equanimity. In the tranquil hills of a distant land, there lived a wise monk named Arian. Arian was renowned for his unwavering equanimity, a quality that inspired many who sought his counsel. One day, a young villager named Lila approached Arian with a troubled heart. "Venerable monk," she said, her voice trembling, "I am consumed by fear and uncertainty. The winds of change buffet me relentlessly, and I fear I shall be swept away." Arian listened attentively to Lila's concerns, his gaze steady and serene. "My dear child," he said softly, "imagine yourself standing by the banks of a mighty river. The waters rush past you with great force, yet you remain unmoved, rooted in your place." Lila furrowed her brow in confusion. "But how can I find such calm amidst life's tumult?" she asked. Arian smiled gently and replied, "True equanimity lies not in resistance, but in acceptance. Just as the river flows without hindrance, so too must we learn to embrace the ebb and flow of life." With Arian's guidance, Lila began to cultivate a sense of equanimity within herself. She learned to observe her thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in their currents, allowing them to flow freely like the waters of the river. As the days passed, Lila found herself growing more grounded and centered, no longer swayed by the highs and lows of life. She came to understand that true peace arises not from controlling external circumstances, but from finding harmony within oneself. Empowered by her newfound equanimity, Lila faced life's challenges with grace and resilience. Whether joy or sorrow came her way, she remained steadfast in her resolve, knowing that all things, like the river, were transient and ever-changing. And so, guided by Arian's teachings, Lila learned to navigate the waters of life with equanimity, finding solace in the knowledge that no matter how turbulent the currents may be, she could always find refuge in the stillness of her own heart. Equanimity is the quality of remaining calm and balanced, regardless of external circumstances. By cultivating equanimity, you can develop a sense of inner stability that is not easily shaken by the ups and downs of life. Metta Loving Kindness Meditation. In a peaceful monastery nestled amidst verdant forests, there lived a humble monk named Bhante Sujata. Bhante Sujata was known throughout the land for his gentle demeanor and his unwavering commitment to spreading loving kindness to all beings. Each morning, Bhante Sujata would retreat to a quiet corner of the monastery, where he would sit in meditation and cultivate metta, or loving kindness, in his heart. With each breath, he would silently recite phrases of loving kindness, extending wishes of well-being and happiness to all sentient beings. One day, a troubled traveler stumbled upon the monastery, his heart heavy with sorrow and despair. The traveler, named Dharma, had lost his way in life and sought refuge in the monastery's peaceful embrace. Bhante Sujata welcomed Dharma with open arms, his eyes shining with compassion. "Come, my friend," he said softly, "rest here a while and let the warmth of loving kindness soothe your troubled soul." Intrigued by Bhante Sujata's serene presence, Dharma watched in wonder as the monk led him through a metta meditation. Together, they closed their eyes and focused on the rhythm of their breath, letting go of worries and distractions as they immersed themselves in the practice of loving kindness. As they meditated, Bhante Sujata guided Dharma in silently reciting phrases of loving kindness, directing wishes of happiness, peace, and well-being towards himself and others. With each repetition, Dharma felt a sense of warmth and compassion enveloping his heart, melting away the layers of sorrow and doubt that had weighed him down for so long. After the meditation, Dharma opened his eyes, his spirit uplifted by the experience. "Thank you, Bhante," he said gratefully, "for showing me the power of loving kindness. I feel as though a burden has been lifted from my shoulders, and my heart is filled with a newfound sense of peace." Bhante Sujata smiled warmly and clasped Dharma's hand. "May your journey be guided by loving kindness, my friend," he said, "and may you always remember that true happiness lies not in the pursuit of worldly desires, but in the boundless love that resides within your own heart." With Bhante Sujata's teachings as his guide, Dharma embarked on a new chapter of his life, filled with compassion, kindness, and the radiant glow of loving kindness that illuminated his path wherever he went. Metta. Meditation is a practice that involves generating feelings of goodwill and kindness towards oneself and others. By regularly practicing metta meditation, you can strengthen your capacity for compassion and cultivate a more positive outlook on life. Sila, ethical conduct. In a serene village nestled amidst rolling hills, there lived a young woman named Sita. Sita was known throughout the village for her unwavering commitment to ethical conduct, or Sila, which guided her actions and interactions with others. From a young age, Sita had been taught the importance of living in accordance with moral principles and treating all beings with kindness and respect. She took these teachings to heart and strived to embody them in her daily life. One day, as Sita was walking through the village market, she noticed a struggling vendor trying to sell his wares. The vendor, named Ravi, had fallen on hard times and was barely able to make ends meet. Moved by compassion, Sita approached Ravi and offered to help him sell his goods. Together, they worked side by side, with Sita using her warm smile and gentle persuasion to attract customers to Ravi's stall. As the day wore on, Ravi's spirits lifted, and he began to regain hope for the future. "Thank you, Sita," he said gratefully, "for your kindness and generosity. You have truly restored my faith in humanity." Sita smiled humbly and replied, "It is my pleasure, Ravi. In helping others, we help ourselves, for we are all interconnected in this vast web of existence." Inspired by Sita's example, Ravi vowed to repay her kindness by paying it forward to others in need. And so, guided by the principles of Sila, Sita, and Ravi, embarked on a journey of compassion and generosity, spreading goodwill and positive energy wherever they went. Their actions inspired others in the village to follow suit, creating a ripple effect of kindness and ethical conduct that touched the hearts of all who witnessed it. And in living according to the principles of Sila, Sita and her fellow villagers found not only inner peace and contentment, but also a deep sense of connection and belonging to the larger community of beings. Following ethical principles such as the 5 precepts can help create a foundation of inner peace and harmony. Living in alignment with these principles can reduce the likelihood of engaging in actions that lead to regret or turmoil. Developing wisdom. In the heart of a bustling city, there lived a young scholar named Rajiv. Rajiv was known for his insatiable thirst for knowledge and his unwavering dedication to seeking wisdom in all its forms. From the ancient texts of philosophers to the teachings of wise elders, Rajiv immersed himself in the study of wisdom, eager to unlock the secrets of the universe and understand the true nature of existence. One day, while wandering through the city streets, Rajiv came across a group of elderly sages gathered in a quiet courtyard. Intrigued by their serene demeanor and aura of wisdom, he approached them with reverence and asked, "How can one attain true wisdom?" The eldest sage, a venerable woman named Amala, smiled warmly at Rajiv and replied, "True wisdom, my child, is not merely acquired through the accumulation of knowledge, but through the cultivation of insight and understanding." Rajiv nodded eagerly, eager to learn more. "But how does one cultivate such insight?" he asked. Amala gestured to a nearby garden, where a solitary tree stood tall and majestic amidst a sea of flowers. "Consider the tree," she said. "It stands rooted in the earth, its branches reaching towards the sky. Like the tree, true wisdom requires both grounding and aspiration." Rajiv pondered Amala's words, reflecting on the metaphor of the tree. "So, wisdom is found in both rootedness and reaching?" he asked. Amala nodded approvingly. "Yes, my child. To develop wisdom, one must cultivate a deep understanding of oneself and the world around them, while also aspiring towards higher truths and noble ideals." Inspired by Amala's wisdom, Rajiv dedicated himself to the pursuit of insight and understanding. He delved deeper into his studies, seeking to uncover the underlying principles that govern the universe and the human experience. As the years passed, Rajiv's knowledge grew, but more importantly, so did his wisdom. He learned to see beyond the surface of things, discerning the interconnectedness of all phenomena and the impermanence of life. Armed with this newfound wisdom, Rajiv became a beacon of light in the city, guiding others on their own paths of self-discovery and enlightenment. And in sharing his wisdom with others, he found fulfillment and purpose, knowing that true wisdom is not merely something to be acquired, but something to be shared with the world. Cultivating wisdom through study, reflection, and meditation can help you develop a deeper understanding of the nature of reality and the causes of suffering. With wisdom, you can see things more clearly and respond to challenges with greater clarity and equanimity. Practice reflection. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village nestled among lush green hills, there lived a young boy named Sam. Sam was known for his curious nature and his love for exploring the world around him. One sunny morning, as Sam wandered through the village, he stumbled upon an old temple hidden amidst the trees. Intrigued by the sight, he decided to explore the temple's ancient halls and sacred grounds. Inside the temple, Sam discovered a serene garden, filled with colorful flowers and towering trees. In the center of the garden, there was a tranquil pond, its surface reflecting the clear blue sky above. As Sam gazed at the pond, he noticed a wise old monk sitting by the water's edge, his eyes closed in deep meditation. Curious, Sam approached the monk and asked, "What are you doing, sir?" The monk opened his eyes and smiled warmly at Sam. "I am practicing reflection, young one," he replied. "Reflection is a way of looking inward to understand ourselves and the world around us." Intrigued by the monk's words, Sam asked, "How do you practice reflection?" The monk gestured to the still waters of the pond. "Just as the surface of the pond reflects the world around it, reflection allows us to see ourselves more clearly," he explained. "When we take the time to quiet our minds and look inward, we can gain insight into our thoughts, emotions, and actions." Sam nodded thoughtfully, understanding the monk's teachings. Inspired by the monk's wisdom, he decided to try practicing reflection himself. Every day, Sam would return to the temple garden and sit by the pond, closing his eyes and quieting his mind. He would reflect on his experiences, his feelings, and his interactions with others, gaining deeper insight into himself and the world around him. As time passed, Sam found that practicing reflection helped him become more self-aware and compassionate. He learned to approach life's challenges with patience and understanding, knowing that true wisdom comes from looking inward and understanding oneself. And so, guided by the teachings of the wise old monk and his own practice of reflection, Sam continued on his journey of self-discovery, embracing each moment with openness and curiosity. Take time regularly to reflect on your experiences, thoughts, and actions. Reflective practice allows you to gain insights into your motivations, patterns of behavior, and areas for growth. Seek diverse perspectives. In a bustling town at the foot of a majestic mountain range, there lived a young girl named Maya. Maya was known for her adventurous spirit and her insatiable curiosity about the world beyond her village. One day, Maya decided to climb the tallest peak in the mountains, hoping to catch a glimpse of the world beyond. As she made her way up the steep, rocky path, she encountered travelers from far and wide, each with their own stories and perspectives. The first traveler Maya met was a nomad from the desert lands to the west. The nomad regaled Maya with tales of vast sand dunes and shimmering oases, offering her a glimpse into a world of endless horizons and untamed beauty. Next, Maya crossed paths with a merchant from the bustling city to the east. The merchant spoke of towering skyscrapers and crowded marketplaces where people from all walks of life came together to trade goods and ideas. As Maya continued her ascent, she encountered a wise old monk from a distant monastery high in the mountains. The monk shared ancient teachings passed down through generations, offering Maya a glimpse into the depths of spiritual wisdom and enlightenment. Finally, as Maya reached the summit of the mountain, she beheld a breathtaking panorama of landscapes stretching as far as the eye could see. From the lush forests of the valleys to the shimmering lakes of the plains, Maya saw the world in all its diversity and beauty. As she descended back to her village, Maya reflected on her journey and the diverse perspectives she had encountered along the way. She realized that each person she met had offered her a unique insight into the world, enriching her understanding and broadening her horizons. From that day forward, Maya made it her mission to seek out diverse perspectives wherever she went, knowing that true wisdom comes not from a single viewpoint, but from embracing the rich tapestry of human experience. And as she shared her own stories and perspectives with others, Maya became a bridge between worlds, uniting people from all walks of life in a shared journey of discovery and understanding. Embrace diversity in thought and experience by engaging with people from different backgrounds, cultures, and beliefs. Listening to diverse perspectives can broaden your understanding of the world and challenge your assumptions. Learn from mistakes. In a vibrant village nestled amidst rolling hills, there lived a young boy named Aryan. Aryan was known for his adventurous spirit and his love for exploring the world around him. One sunny day, Aryan decided to embark on a journey into the nearby forest, eager to discover its hidden wonders. As he ventured deeper into the woods, he stumbled upon a narrow path that wound its way through the trees. Excited by the prospect of adventure, Aryan followed the path deeper into the forest, oblivious to the dangers that lurked ahead. But as he wandered further from the safety of the village, he soon realized that he had lost his way. Panic began to rise within Aryan as he searched frantically for a familiar landmark or signpost to guide him home. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't seem to find his way back. Exhausted and disheartened, Aryan eventually stumbled upon a clearing in the forest where he collapsed in despair. It was there that he met an old woodsman who had been watching him from afar. The woodsman approached Aryan with a kind smile and said, "Lost are you, young one?" Aryan nodded sheepishly, feeling ashamed of his foolishness. "Yes," he replied, "I strayed from the path and now I don't know how to find my way back." The woodsman nodded understandingly and said, "Mistakes are a part of life, my boy. What matters is what we learn from them." With gentle guidance from the woodsman, Aryan retraced his steps and eventually found his way back to the village. As he reflected on his journey, he realized the importance of paying attention to his surroundings and staying on the path. From that day forward, Aryan approached life with a newfound sense of humility and awareness. He learned to embrace his mistakes as opportunities for growth and understanding, knowing that each misstep was a lesson in disguise. And as he continued on his journey through life, Aryan carried with him the wisdom gained from his experiences, knowing that by learning from his mistakes, he could navigate even the most challenging of paths with courage and resilience. View mistakes and failures as opportunities for learning and growth. Instead of dwelling on past errors, analyze them objectively to understand what went wrong and how you can improve in the future. Cultivate open-mindedness. In the heart of a bustling city, there lived a young woman named Layla. Layla was known for her open-mindedness and her willingness to explore new ideas and perspectives. Growing up in a diverse community, Layla had always been surrounded by people from different backgrounds and cultures. From an early age, she learned the value of embracing diversity and seeking out new experiences. One day, as she walked through the vibrant streets of her neighborhood, Layla stumbled upon a bustling marketplace filled with vendors selling goods from all corners of the world. Intrigued by the sights and sounds around her, she decided to explore further. As she wandered through the marketplace, Layla encountered people of all shapes, sizes, and colors, each with their own unique stories and perspectives. She struck up conversations with vendors from far-off lands, eager to learn about their cultures and traditions. One vendor, a jovial man from a distant island, shared tales of his homeland's rich history and vibrant festivals. Another, a wise old woman from the mountains, imparted ancient wisdom passed down through generations. With each interaction, Layla's mind opened wider and wider as she realized the beauty and complexity of the world around her. She learned to appreciate the differences that made each person unique and to approach life with a sense of curiosity and wonder. As she continued to explore the marketplace, Layla stumbled upon a group of street performers putting on a colorful and lively show. Mesmerized by their talent and creativity, she found herself drawn into their world of music and dance. In that moment, surrounded by the sights and sounds of the marketplace, Layla felt a sense of belonging and connection, unlike anything she had ever experienced before. She realized that true open-mindedness wasn't just about being receptive to new ideas, but about embracing the diversity of the world and celebrating the richness of human experience. From that day forward, Layla made it her mission to cultivate open-mindedness in all aspects of her life. She approached each new encounter with a sense of openness and acceptance, knowing that by embracing diversity and seeking out new perspectives, she could enrich her own life and the lives of those around her. And as she journeyed through life with an open heart and an open mind, Layla discovered that the world was filled with endless possibilities and opportunities for growth and discovery. Approach new ideas and information with an open mind, free from preconceptions or biases. Cultivating open-mindedness allows you to consider alternative viewpoints and expand your understanding of complex issues. Study the wisdom of others. In a quaint library nestled in the heart of a bustling town, there lived a young scholar named Nisha. Nisha was known for her insatiable thirst for knowledge and her love of learning from the wisdom of others. Every day, Nisha would spend hours poring over the dusty tomes and ancient scrolls that filled the library's shelves. She delved into the works of philosophers, poets, and scholars from distant lands and bygone eras, eager to glean insights into the mysteries of life and the human condition. One day, as she perused the shelves, Nisha stumbled upon a weathered volume tucked away in a forgotten corner of the library. The book, titled Wisdom of the Ages, contained a collection of teachings and sayings from sages and thinkers throughout history. Intrigued, Nisha opened the book and began to read, immersing herself in the timeless wisdom contained within its pages. She discovered pearls of insight from the ancient philosophers of Greece, the poets of Persia, and the mystics of the East. From the Stoic wisdom of Marcus Aurelius to the poetic truths of Rumi, Nisha found herself captivated by the diverse perspectives and profound truths expressed by these wise souls. She marveled at the universality of their teachings, realizing that the quest for wisdom transcended time and culture. Inspired by the wisdom of others, Nisha resolved to incorporate their teachings into her own life. She adopted the Stoic principle of accepting what she could not change, and the Buddhist practice of cultivating compassion and mindfulness. She embraced the Confucian ideals of virtue and filial piety and the Taoist concept of living in harmony with the natural world. As she immersed herself in the wisdom of others, Nisha found that her own understanding of the world deepened and her perspective broadened. She learned to approach life's challenges with grace and resilience, drawing strength from the timeless truths she had discovered in the words of the wise. And as she continued on her journey of learning and growth, Nisha realized that the pursuit of wisdom was not merely an intellectual exercise, but a lifelong journey of self-discovery and transformation. And she knew that as long as there were books to read and wisdom to glean, her quest for knowledge would never end. Explore the teachings of philosophers, spiritual leaders, and scholars from various traditions and time periods. By studying the wisdom of others, you can gain valuable insights into the human condition and deepen your understanding of universal truths. Leave a like for this video and share it at least one time to help us reach more people. Spread the gospel and change more lives by comment using the word wisdom. To further support the dissemination of this message, consider sharing this video with a friend or family member. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications to stay updated with more content that nourishes the soul and uplifts the spirit. See you at next video.